Yo, what is up guys? So chapter 6 season 1 is of course here, and with that we have a brand new map. Now on this map there are around 1,300 chest spawns instead of just 800 which we have in the previous season. So that means there's plenty of overpowered drop spots across the map which you guys are going to need for ranked and competitive. In this video I'm going to share with you guys 5 of the best drop spots from the new season which I have found today playing the brand new season. And if you do enjoy and find it helpful, please do make sure to drop a like on this video and also subscribe for much more chapter 6 competitive content just like this. Okay, so starting off with the first drop spot of today's video, we have this little mine area down here to the southwest of Shogun's Solitude. Obviously, Shogun's being right here, and we have this little mine exclave over here. Now, if we do land at this drop spot, I would recommend immediately landing on the top. And this is definitely a solo drop spot, and I have to say, you're probably going to be uncontested at this drop. Now, immediately you have the chance for 2 chests to spawn up top. In this case, we get 1, we already get minis and a nice AR. And then down here, nice, we also get some pistols. So we'd use our minis to heal up right here, and that's already 2 guns which you're going to get from these chest spawns. Now in this fruit box you do have the chance to get other stuff for shield, but in terms of shield, say you don't get any off the spawn, what you can do is you can drop down to this little shack here, where not only do you have the opportunity to get more shield out of a chest, so now we got an AR out of this chest, yet to get a shotgun, that is rather unlucky, but now we can pick up this big pot. Now one of the advantages to this drop is that now I have this big pot in my inventory due to the fact that 5 slurp barrels spawn down at this drop. So immediately what I can do is I can go in, I can use all of these slurp barrels and I can get myself to max HP, and now I've got a big pot spare. And bear in mind, we've only just got into the game. Then all these trees around and nearby are very fast farming trees, so you can immediately get up to very good amounts of wood and stone, because there is also a lot of stone out the back here, again this being fast farming stone as well. But the good thing about this drop spot is, say once you've got your base loot like I have right here, you may notice that there is another floor loot spawn down there. This time it hasn't spawned in this game. But then what you can do is you can go back up here. Sorry, oh, I can't build a ramp. And you can either hit this zip line to go over to there to push Shoguns. Obviously, once you've grabbed this mythic chest that can spawn right here. Nice. So now look at our loot that we're coming out of in this game. I have no idea what that is because it's the first day of the season. But look at this loot which we're coming out for. This is perfectly set up for a solo game. There's a few ammo boxes which you can grab. And then you can hit this pad. And with this pad, you can then go across over towards Shoguns. So the only negative I would say about this drop is you're likely to get a far pull. As you guys can see, due to it being in the southwest corner of the map, we have got a pretty far pull, but that's 100 stone from that rock right there, and then we can continue to push towards Shoguns. If you guys look, I've got an entire loadout. I've got spare shield due to having using the slurp barrels, and as I push up onto height here of Shoguns, I can grab this chest right here, and there is another pad. Say I don't want to fight, I can hit this another pad, and then I can continue out and I can rotate on and go in towards the zone just like that. Or I could choose to third party Shoguns and fight here to try and clean up the players that landed here off spawn and are shambles. If not, I can hit this pad, go around, and you guys can see, despite it being in the bottom left corner of the map down there, we have now got a sequence of 3 pads which we can use, and boom, we are already at Canyon Crossing. Then, I know you guys get the idea by now, we can hit this pad right here, and you guys can see, it's just like a cannon effect. We can keep hitting the pads, and that's what's OP about this drop spot. Yes, we landed far out the way, but now with just in probably a minute of rotation, look at where we are in the zone now. Now we're coming towards the middle of the map, because we can go through this tunnel, or we can rotate across this lake right here and get more central in the map. A great drop spot to consider for the solo cash cups this season. So moving on now to my second drop spot, you have a mix of places you can land, but it is these 2 sort of gas stations in the middle of the map here, above Foxy Floodgate and below Lost Lake. You have this one on the right with its little building to the left hand side, and you also have this big building over here with another little building to the left hand side. Now what I would do, what I would recommend, when landing in, is I'd scout which one is more contested. Let's say in this game that there are 2 people over there and this one is unconned, then I'd come over to this gas station right here. Now immediately but that's quite funny, immediately you have that building to up, but if you want to land on top, immediately if you break this, you can easily get good metal straight away off spawn. Not that I'm recommending you guys do this the second you land in, obviously get some loot, but as you guys can see, just breaking this very quickly, we're able to get good metal. Now there is also some slurp barrels down here. Again, every drop spot that I'm showing in today's video has some sort of slurp barrels for shield, because it allows you to get good rotation. There's also a motorbike to rotate out, that however will not be in competitive. Now if we go on inside to the building, you guys will see that there's multiple different chest spawns which can spawn in here. Immediately we got max shield, kinetic blade, and now we are 100 with some shockwaves there which we could also use to rotate out, and we can save an extra mini due to the fact that we use these slurp barrels. I mean, look at how stacked we are. We've literally just this second landed, and this is only one of the buildings. Now again, there is a cash register allowing you to get some gold, an ammo box right there. Another couple of floor loot spawns out here, and immediately around, you guys that will notice, that there is these fast farming rocks. So immediately if we farm these rocks, 60 brick right there, and also these fast farming trees. These trees are crazy OP. From that one tree, 70 wood, and then another fast farming brick. I mean, look at my mats already. It's only been a few trees and a few rocks, and already we are picking up decent mats. I'm going to continue to farm this up just to show you guys how quickly you can get to great mats. So far, I've probably been in this game around a minute. I've been down around a minute, and look at the mats I've got, look at the loot I've got, and we've only looted up one building. I can then come into here and loot up this building as well. So there's going to be another couple chest spawns that could potentially spawn in here. Yeah, it looks like we got 2 this game. Great, now I get to carry some spare shield as well from this drop spot. And you can see there is just a lot of floor loot spawns, another few ammo boxes to help get my loot up as well. Now I've got 5 minis, we'll get a chest in the roof. It just continues, there's just a lot of loot. Now, as I said in the intro, there is 1,300 chests this season compared to 800, so there is a lot of loot across the map, but little splits like this are great. Now, just quickly before I move on to the next spot, I want to show you guys why I like a little split like this, and it is because you can then choose to either push into Lost Lakes, a third party, Brutal Box Carts, a third party, Foxy Floodgate, Warriors Watch, or even Night Shift Forest. Just from this one gas station right here, you have a bunch of POIs which you can choose to go in third party in, giving you guys a lot of options which you can use when trying to decide your game plan, as I can't hit a triple edit. But now let's move on to spot number 3. So now for the third drop spot of today's video. I think this is my favorite drop of the new season, and arguably might be where I'm landing in solos, and the reason for that is because of the sheer amount of metal which you can get at this drop spot. And it is this entire split which we have right here. We have this sort of log jam woods sort of area down here. We also have some chests that spawn in down there. We also have some more chests that spawn in over here and over there. It's an incredible split here just to the south of the map. Now, as you guys can see, there's lots of different chest spawns. Immediately one spawns in the top right here, so we'll grab that. And if we drop down, there's the opportunity for another floor loot spawn here, and then just a bunch of chest spawns all around. As you guys can see, there's a mythic chest down here in the basement which we will grab, and now we have the Omni Mask, which is obviously the insane movement. As you guys can see, we will just teleport. It is absolutely insane. But what you guys can see from this drop spot immediately is look at the sheer amount of metal that is around. Immediately, if we break every single one of these, that's going to give us 20 metal. And look, there is a ton of them. Also, these little conveyor belt things give a ton of metal. So if you want to land it even as a trio, there is plenty of metal, or more than enough metal for your entire team. But as a solo drop, I just think this is crazy OP because it allows you to get metal so quickly. And not only is there just metal, there's also tons of loot with the god chests down there. There's also floor loot spawns everywhere, floor loot spawn there, chest spawns here. You can get another chest spawn in there, more metal down here. As you guys can see, like, you are just going to be absolutely stacked out of your mind with metal, which is really crucial in this season. I do feel like there's a lot of metal all over the map, but this place certainly has a large majority of it. If you drop down here to the beach, you can see another opportunity for a few more floor spawns and another chest in here. Me and my friend counted up, and there is a total of 17 chests just across this bit and that bit up top. 17 chests for a solo drop is insane. But what I am yet to mention is there is also 4 slurp barrels down here. So make sure, again, you are saving your shield, especially if you're uncontested, because you can drop down and get these slurp barrels. There's another chest that can spawn on the boat, another chest that can spawn under these boats right here, a cooler with the opportunity to get floppers or shieldfish. You guys can see this entire drop spot is just absolutely stacked with loot. Now, as I'm dropping into this 4th spot, I actually want to talk about quickly the fact that there's so many more chests and loot options in this map means that the game's actually going to be crazy more stacked, because we're not going to have as many people going down off spawn, which is really, really good. Now, this is like a tunnel drop, and it's to the east-hand side of Canyon Crossing right here, and you can see there's multiple different tunnel entrances which you can take, as well as a reboot van up there. There is the opportunity for a few floor loot spawns down here, and then you can just jump all the way down on the zip line right here. And immediately when you drop down, you are faced with a chest to your left-hand side, and a couple more floor loot spawns out back, as well as a pair of barrels back here. Not a pair, sorry, 3 barrels back here. So again, every single loot drop spot which I am showing you guys has barrels in order for you guys to get shield without having to waste it. You can see there's multiple different doors which you can go through, and you're in a tunnel. Now, Fortnite does seem to like tunnels in recent times, but you can get a tunnel right here, and you can hit the grind rail to move down and around the tunnel very, very quickly, with their opportunity being more floor loot spawns to your left-hand right side. Now, when you come further down the tunnel right here, you guys will see there's cars, so this could be a good drop spot for ranked, but there's also the opportunity for a lot more chest spawns right here, and also good availability of metal at this drop, because each of these little pylon things right here give 20 metal each. You can really use this to get your metal counter up quick, as well as, again, coolers at this drop spot, you guys can see the sheer amount of spare shield which we're coming out with at every drop spot. I shouldn't even pop this big pot because look what's over there. Another 3 slurp barrels. The amount of loot which you can get at this drop spot is crazy, especially as well as the availability of metals, which is really, really OP. So if we farm up all these barrels, now any shield which I get is spare. I would have had a big pot spare if I wasn't stupid, but already I've just landed in. I've got half my metal all ready for the game. We can get this other chest spawn right here, and now we can head on back through here where there is going to be another chest spawn right here. This time it's a legendary chest, so we can get a nice Fury assault rifle, and then there is an ammo box back there. As we head back round, you guys will see a few more floor loot spawns. Remember, there is 3 entrances, so there's 3 little things like this. Another availability of slurp barrels if you want to get even more shield. You don't really need to even pop any shield at this spot because there is so many slurp barrels. More slurp barrels here, we can take that. That's extra shield. We can take that. That's extra shield. I would now have 2 big pots if I wasn't silly, and also 3 minis and capped metal. This drop spot has a wide availability of slurp barrels, as well as it not being that far on the outskirts of the map like some of the other ones I've shown. This one's quite straightforward. You can just slide down off the mountain and slide down towards Foxy Floodgate, for example, or Warrior's Watch. With this being very, very quick movement, and then you can utilize this zip line over here, to be honest, and you can get up there very, very quickly, and you can already be across the map towards a POI, where there is, of course, more slurp barrels. Another big pot which we can then use in the inventory. Absolutely perfect. As you guys can see, this drop spot's really, really good. And now look, within just a few seconds of rotating, we are now towards the middle of the map, ready to third-party fights at Foxy Floodgate, for example. So now for the 5th drop spot of today's video, we have this sort of building, like sort of ritzy Riviera looking place to the west of Bird right here. I cannot believe there is a POI called Bird. But yeah, over to the west of the POI of Bird and Night Shift for it is this sort of ritzy Riviera looking thing. Now there is a reboot van again here if you guys do want to reboot your teammates, depending if you're landing or in trios, though I would say this is probably more of a solo drop spot as there isn't too many chest spawns here to support a trio. As you guys can see, there is a pad on top which you can immediately use for rotation out. We can immediately rotate up, get towards these cars right here if it's ranked, and go and W key Bird if anyone is actually going to land Bird. But there is a few chest spawns in the main building. There's also an opportunity for 3 chests to spawn out here. It looks like we got lucky in this game and all 3 chests have spawned. As you guys can see, there's just so much loot everywhere across the map this season. That is one common thing which I've noticed. We can search this chest as well. Gives us an extra big pot. Now we've got a shotgun right there, and we already have a full loadout just from 3 or 4 chests. Now, there is a lot of metal here. Obviously, all of these things can be broken for metal. Whilst it isn't the most efficient to farm, there is a lot of metal. But I think that if you are going to land here in solos, you're going to be pretty much uncontested every game, as I don't really think this is that much going to be a that well-known drop spot, minus obviously the people, those of you guys that are getting yourselves in a good position by watching this video. But there's some fast farming wood out the back. There's also a lot of opportunity for floor spawns all across the POI, a couple chest spawns within the buildings, and overall just solid loot in a place that will allow you to get off spawn very, very easily. I don't think you're going to die off spawn very much here, mainly because I don't think you're going to be contested very much here, so it gives you a great opportunity to get deep in the game and also get some solid placement. We now have 6 shockwaves. I can use these and I can just get out of the POI very, very quickly, and again within only a minute and a half of dropping in, and we haven't even fully looted up. Okay, I can't throw a shockwave in a straight line, but we would have W keyed into Bird, and now we could be looking to third party the interesting players that have decided to land Bird. Thank you guys very much for watching, and make sure to click this video on screen to learn how you can rank up very quickly and reach Unreal in Chapter 6 Season 1.